Ow! Ow. I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Phil the Conquistadork. Welcome back to C14 Dating. This is my, technically, I guess it would be my second venture into dating sim land if you count Honey Pop, which I don't believe you should, because there was nothing dating about that. I was not simulating a date in any way, shape, or form, even though we went on dates. That was not what we were after. I've learned a few things since my last episode of this. C14 Dating is not only a confusing name for a game, it also refers to carbon dating, which is an archaeological thing. So you see, they're being very clever because it's a dating sim and it's carbon dating. So yeah, that's what that's about. I've also learned that I've been saying the professor's name as Augustin. And I've been informed by my friend Lauren that it's Agustin, I think is what she said it should be pronounced as. But I don't care. Not because I'm an ugly American and everyone should pronounce things the way I pronounce them. That goes without saying. That much is obvious. But because this is a dating sim, and it doesn't matter. None of this matters. I've also learned that I'm a glutton for punishment because apparently I've decided to make this a multiple part Let's Play. So let's continue. I'm enjoying a pleasant jog early in the morning since I don't know much about Korean. I stuck to the familiar path between the train station and the museum. When I returned, I saw people mingling in the open canopy. That meant there was enough time to eat breakfast before the trek to the cave. I swung a leg over the bench and settled into my seat. After pouring myself some apple juice, I grabbed an orange and began peeling it. "Did you have a nice jog?" said the guy with the douchey coffee bean necklace and the pierced eyebrow. Who does that anymore? Startled by the unfamiliar accent, I glanced upward, greeted by a friendly face. I did. It was a short one, though, since I don't want to risk getting lost just yet. I don't know the area well enough. The roads can be pretty windy, too. You think you're heading east and somehow end up going north. What the fuck does that have to do with wind? Unless you're light enough that you are literally being blown on the winds like a fucking leaf, which I might be, who the hell knows, but whatever. Oh yeah, I noticed the streets aren't all clearly marked. The names are mostly on buildings. Speaking of names, I'm Melissa. Going for the kill, Melissa. I like it. I like your moxie. I like the cut of your jib. I like other things as well. I extended an arm and he accepted my handshake. DeAndre, enchanté. Wait, you're from around here? I know say. That's all. That second C, by the way, had a weird little thing on it. I don't think that's, I think that's a little, I think that's satanic. That can't be pure. It's just, your accent sounds different in English. People here haven't been the French. I'm going to go with the accent thing. Your accent isn't French when you speak in English. Did you learn it from somewhere? Of course. Did you learn it from somewhere? Or were you just born innately with that ability? I studied abroad in New Zealand for a few years and picked up their manner of speech. That makes sense. You're a French Kiwi. It sounds lovely. It's a charming accent. Seriously? Sweet as. Sweeties. I don't know. I was concerned I'd be hard to understand considering it's not my first language. Glad that's not the case. I'm grateful that you took the chance. For a while, it seemed no one wanted to talk to me. I worried if I was somehow unapproachable. Not at all. Many people here are shy in the beginning, but they warm up quickly. We were actually intimidated by your presence at first. Huh? Me? We all thought you were some high school prodigy archaeologist, since you had obviously flown in from another country. Me? A prodigy? Oh, no, I'm just a regular university student working on her anthropology major. And I don't look like a high schooler. Ooh, she got mad. She all mad now. First year? No, second year. Well, I guess technically third. You? I'm gonna put my hands behind my head another time. Fourth. I've sort of fallen behind on electives, so a summer one seemed the easiest. We noticed a few students getting up and bringing their dishes to the outdoor wash area. DeAndre reached into his back pocket and pulled out a phone. He glanced at the display. Speaking of which, if we'd like to pass, we should start heading out soon. Cave or lab? Ooh, that's gotta... someone... Alright, like, comment, subscribe if you can come up with an innuendo for cave or lab. Right now I'm on dishwasher duty, but I'll be working in the lab afterwards. They're still getting around to approving people's photographs, including mine. Again, thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it. Thanks for soon-to-be finger-banging me, maybe. It's no problem. I know what it's like to be in a new country and away from your folks. Once we finished breakfast, we stood up at the same time. We momentarily gazed at each other in surprise. He was much taller than I had expected, near KYLER's height. Oh yeah, KYLER. Again, let's focus again on how stupid a name that is for just a second. Man, what a stupid name. Okay, now that I think about it, most, if not all, of the students here were easily a few inches taller than me or more. DeAndre hammered a fist into his flat palm excitedly. Oh, that was the other reason why we thought you were a high school student. Hey, I'm only slightly below average at home. 4'6", it's no big thing. DeAndre grinned in amusement. When we left the canopy, I spotted a middle-aged woman frantically asking students something in French. What's going on? Helena, the receptionist here, is looking for volunteers, but it hasn't been easy. I offered to cook all week, but it's not a one-person job. I have a partner for today, but any past that... Sherry did encourage me to participate, more like it would be marked on my helpfulness outside of archaeology too. Alright, let's go after the douche with the eyebrow piercing a little bit. We'll volunteer. We'll get to know him and stuff, and we'll look good to the teacher as well. Volunteer. I can volunteer for tomorrow. Would you really? Sweet ass smell. What is that, sweeties? Sweeties? I'm looking that up while we do this, because I have no idea what the fuck that is. He said it again. Now oh, okay, maybe they'll explain. Look at that! Look at that! See? I'm not an idiot. Well, I am, but it doesn't matter. Sweet as what? Oh, it's Kiwi slang for awesome, fine, or cool, anything positive. Ah, those wacky New Zealanders. I see. And could you let Helena know that I'll sign up for tomorrow? I'm really sweet ass giving a head. Sure, can do. Thanks. Well, I'm glad my photograph got approved. Now I can finally start digging. So where do I start? From the top? Right. You start at the top. Yeah, idiot. Right. You start at the top and work your way back 25 centimeters. I don't know why I called her an idiot. That isn't completely obvious. Then you proceed downward until you finish the layer. Some people prefer digging back a few centimeters, then work their way down. Either way, as long as you're making progress. As long as you're not fucking anything up, I guess is what we're saying. For now, we have to remove the coche de merde. Well, I know what merde means. Using her trowel, she etched a line near the top of the square. The dirt at the very top was hard and compact with footprints all over it. All this is out of context now. People have trampled on it, and it's been exposed to the air for so long that it's better just to remove it all. Coche de merde. Wait, that sounds similar to mierda, therefore. Exactly. It's the layer of crap, to phrase it mildly. Just dig back 25 centimeters and a few down. When it comes to this layer, it'll make working here much easier. You'll still need a document for this, but you don't have to worry about the details. At least this will give me a chance to sharpen my excavating skills. I discreetly glanced in KYLER's direction. He must have been super diligent, because he's a robot! How many times do I have to go over that with you? He's a robot. Since he had already stripped his layer away. Really? Hesitantly, I took the bigger trowel and started scraping, amazed by the resistance. I had to apply more force to make a dent. Let me give you some tips. Oh, yay, minigame! Here you go. Coche de merde. Layer of shit. Got it. Now, before we dig, we should first remove the top layer. It's been treaded on, and its soil is now mixed and distributed. Whatever. You can see how dark and compacted it is compared to the lighter, pristine sediment beneath it. Not only that, it's hard to dig through and all clumpy. Already testing it out? Someone's eager. Remember, you only need to remove a few centimeters worth. Try it out. Alright, so what do we do? Note the top row has a 5 beside it. That means 5 cells must be chiseled, blacked out in an uninterrupted sequence. Since this is a 5x5 grid, you can clear the full row. What does that mean? Okay, so I'm digging. Got it. Just like this? Perfect. Clean line. Make sure you don't remove too much, or you might be digging into the sediments you'll be recording. Is there a way to prevent that? I mean, I can easily distinguish these two layers, but I'm sure it won't always be this obvious. You can use the tip of your trowel to etch into the sediment. It helps to separate the stratigraphy, so you don't have to constantly check to make sure you haven't dug into a new layer. Alright, use the tip of your trowel to etch. Try it here as a practice run. So I take my etchy etch. Left is useful option. It marks the cells that do not need to be chiseled with an X. So try the third row. Okay, so it's 0 beside it means that we don't have to do any of these. Is this basically Minesweeper? See how there's a 0 beside this row? It means no cells need to be chiseled, blacked out. You can leave it as is. Cool. So I can do these other ones the same way. Looks like the top layer ends here. I agree. Now you know how much left you need to clear away. Okay. Here I go, again, on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Finish chiseling the second row. Okay. That's perfect. Well, I am very good at clicking a mouse, but it's nice of you to point that out. The Coche de Merde has now been stripped away, revealing the pristine sediments underneath. Okay, so 2. Note, the top columns are all marked with a 2. This means each column had 2 cells that needed to be filled in. Since you filled out both rows marked with 5, all the requirements have been completed. Okay. All right, if you click check, it'll tell you if you've correctly chiseled the cells. Okay. All right, got it. So 5, 2. I think I got it. I think so. You've unlocked a new journal entry! Coche de Merde! Happiness journal. Awesome. Is this it? No, those are preferences, dumbass. I thought I had a journal. Whatever. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Looks like I've completed everything. Now I feel like a real archaeologist. When do I get my bullwhip? That's wonderful. I'll be helping the other students out, but if you're stuck, don't hesitate to ask for my assistance. Okay. Unsure of a row, or click on the numbers on the side or top, the corresponding row correctly filled. Oh, okay, so we can kind of just skip this if we want to. You can use these hints several times per puzzle. The game will keep track of how many hints you still have on the left. Oh, okay, all right, that's fine. Careful, though, if your stress level is too high, you won't get as many hints. Does that make sense so far? Not a wink. Here, I'll show you a little more. God, okay. Now that the Coche de Merde is gone, I can finally start digging, right? You sound eager, but your hand is shaking. Are you feeling okay? I am just fucking high. I'm high as shit. I'm good. Just a little nervous since this is a 120-year-old square. I wondered I might accidentally throw something of extreme value away. So long as you stay aware and don't dig through the sediments carelessly. We use microstratigraphic approaches which require high spatial control. Why don't you point out the sediments? Oh, dig a little into this one. The separation is unmistakable. Okay. Everything still looks brown to me, but here I go. Alright, so puzzle has multiple numbers. At some row and columns, it might seem a little daunting, but you can start by solving the second row. The row requires 2 sequences of 2 cells each. You can't chisel them together, or you have a 4 for the row instead. Oh, got it. Okay, cool. This means that there needs to be at least 1 unchiseled blank cell between them. And this is 5 by 5, so there's only 1. Okay, so it's going to be these 2 and these 2. Perfect. The first sediment is the 2AL layer. This is an alluvial deposition. Yes. Jesus. All these words. So, it'll be silty and easy to work through. Not many pebbles or grainy textures here. Excellent. Now let's focus on the first column. See the first one? You already filled it with the second row. Got it. That means no adjoining cells need to be filled. Okay, this is confusing. Okay, I think I might have this, but I might not. Now what remains? Column still requires 2 cells to be chiseled. Go ahead and finish it. Okay, so it's this one and this one. Alright? Yeah. So it's 1. Okay, so it's a group of 1 and then a group of 2 is what they're saying. 1, 2, 2. Cool. Okay. I think so. That means, okay, I think I've got this. All right, see if we can clip it with the rest. Okay. continuing for the fourth row. See, I think I've got this. So that means, because over here, we've got our 1, which is this guy. I think. Maybe not. 1 and 1. Well, maybe it isn't. It could be 3 and then 1. Fuck. Okay, so these are all 0, though. We know that much. Okay. Group of 1 and 1. So it can't be this one either. It can't be that one. Can't be that one. It's 1 and 2 here. And this is 3 and 1. Fuck, this is not... Okay. That has to be it. So this is probably it then, yes. Okay, so they got the 1 and that one. Oh my god! This is kind of like, yeah, this is kind of advanced Minesweeper. This is absurd. Alright, let's just, let's start from the 4th row. So it's going to be 3 and 1. Is it in order then? So it's 3 and then 1? I'm going to try that. 1, and that means that this is 1. That means this one is done. That one's done. And that one's done. Is this right? 1, 1, 3, 1. Gotcha, gotcha. Check it. Stratigraphy! Yay! I think I figured out where all the sediments are, Sherry. Agreed. Do you still have your photograph? You can fix up some of the pencil lines you put down before. Usually you need to have your photograph approved by one of the staff members here, but since we're shorthanded, I'll be overseeing the photograph submissions as well. Jesus, okay. There's a lot to do here. I agree with the stratigraphy marked down. You can outline the pencil with a permanent marker and start digging from the top once you're done. Thanks, Sherry. While you work on that, I have a quick question. Did you bring your journal? I didn't forget this time. Wonderful. Also, have you talked to Helena already? She's the receptionist here and oversees the volunteers for cooking and cleaning. As you recall, I expect you to volunteer since it'll be for March too. Bitch, I am so ahead of you. I know what I'm doing. I'm down. Already got that covered. See? Volunteered myself for tomorrow. I'm glad to hear that. I was worried since she doesn't speak English and you didn't ask me for help. It's wonderful to see you getting involved from the very beginning. I'd like to do my share, marks or not. I'll let you finish your first task. I'll mostly be helping other students here. Give a holler if you see. Yeah, you don't have any inquiries. That's I'm sure. I've never been to Belgium, but I'm sure that give a holler is not a terribly common expression. I personally want you to get used to digging in the cave first before you transfer to the lab. Next week, you can decide which one you'd like to focus on. Generally, students spend 1 week in the cave, 1 week in the lab, then alternate. However, I think flexibility is very important, so I'll let you plan your days. Sounds good. It does sound good. With the conversation finished, Sherry climbed the ladder, leaving me with a remote KYLER. He's a remote KYLER because he's remote control, because he's a robot. I'm not going to let up on this. Jeez, he digs so fast because he's a robot. He does have experience, though, but I wonder if I can even rely on him. So much for the square mate thing. Pulling the earbuds out of my pocket, I inserted them, turned on my music. Now let's tackle this mucky layer. Okay, so that was Tuesday, I guess. Succeeded. I am full of success. That's awesome. Heavy, way too heavy. Why did I think it was a good idea to fill it to the top? Not only that, I had to climb 2 ladders, gripping the bucket handle with both hands. I managed to trudge forward to the wet screening area. Luckily, one space was free. I set down the bucket, then placed a screen over the container suspended above the tub of water. I tried hoisting the bucket, only to find I was too short for this task. I kicked futilely at the cement block until I realized it was faster to grab it and drag it next to the tub. Stepping on the block, I unceremoniously dumped half of the bucket's contents, trying not to overdo it. Once I had my labeled cup next to me, I grabbed a hose and drenched the compacted soil, using my free hand to break up the globs. Good word, that, globs. While I sifted through the items, I glanced at the person across from me. He tentatively poked through the wet screen, unable to determine if any of the objects were rubbish or worth dropping into the cup. His arms obscured his hoodie design, although it seemed vaguely familiar to me. I watched him, and he happened to look up, meeting my eyes. Clearly, he ejaculated into his pants at the mere sight of me. He was so nervous and upset. Bonjour. Sorry, I can't speak French. Well, I can, but I won't. Let's put it that way. So I'm not even sure if you can understand me. Didn't mean to blurt that out, but he averted his eyes briefly. For a moment, I thought he didn't understand English and didn't know how to respond. Hello? You speak English? Yes, I think I'm pretty fluent with it. Sweet! It's always nice to know I can talk to more people here. I'm not confident with my French at all, let alone Spanish. Wait, you didn't ask about your Spanish. I chuckled while I waited for a reply. However, he meekly nodded, then glanced down at the wet screening. Total opposite to Viandre. Guess he's not big on conversation. Music is great, but I spent all morning beside super sociable KYLER. I need small talk, darn it. Having trouble? Struggling with a tamassage. A bit. I don't know much about archaeology, and I'm scared I'll throw something valuable out. How old is your Carre? Carre? 4,000 years, I think? Oh, that's cool. At least you don't have to worry about finding Neanderthal remains. Less pressure and all that. You'll never be remembered. Because you're doing everything but the important shit. Ugh, that conversation died awkwardly. I need another angle. I don't want this discussion to leave a poor impression between us. So, you ever been fucked in the ass? What else could I say? Okay, nothing. What are you taking in school? I love your hoodie. Let's go with hoodie. It's going to be the general statement, but then I got a clearer look at what he was wearing. Wait, no way! Some of the design was still hidden by his arms, but I recognized that logo anywhere. Oh my gosh, I love your Chronicles of Solida hoodie. It was based on 20 masks, right? Ellipses? You've played them before? It was practically my childhood. I loved the series, and it was my favorite one. Really? Mine too. I've always appreciated the darker direction the series took with it. Yeah, I loved the mysterious, spooky vibe they had going. My favorite part was learning about the world through side quests. This is Majora's Mask. That's what we're talking about, right? Majora's Mask? Okay. I'm guessing you completed the Lover's Quest? What did you think of that one? Loved it! It was really sad, and I felt guilty I couldn't reunite them every time. I think I shed more tears over that than the actual ending. The NPC schedules were super detailed. I'd end up following each character. What a nerd! Oh, that's his name. What a nerd. Awesome. I agree. The main town felt livelier for it, and I liked how your choices could influence the characters too. I'm Shoji. He eagerly extended an arm, and I flinched from the unanticipated gesture. Seeing my startled reaction, he hastily withdrew his hands and averted his eyes, ejaculating one more time into his jeans. Sorry. No worries, I just didn't expect it. Here. I initiated the handshake this time and realized how gritty and wet our hands were. He seemed to be aware of it too, and we exchanged... God, what is wrong with me today? We exchanged an apologetic look followed by a laugh. My bad. Should have wiped my hand first. Not the best of handshakes there. It's fine. The burst of zeal he displayed when we gushed over games had quickly mellowed out. We released each other's hands, and he silently returned to his wet screening. I did the same. Alright, so Dreamboat Blonde Guy, Robot, Nerd. Oh, that's another thing I learned between the last episode and this one. I learned what Otome means. That is apparently what this is, and it's dating sims and that sort of thing. That is geared towards women. You play a woman and you're going after boys, that kind of thing. I learned that from Akamari from Akamari Plays. Check him out. Very cool stuff. He is an anime person. I am not. So I'm gonna need help. Akamari, help me! No, it's probably better actually if I don't get help. It'll certainly be more entertaining. Sometimes I'd glance up and sense he had more to say, but did not articulate them. I already forced enough conversation out of him for now. When he was done, Shoji tipped over the screen, dumping out all the rubble, which disappeared with the water below. After Shoji picked up his empty bucket, he lingered by the catwalk for a moment before returning to me. I'll see you around. Yeah. He trailed off, and then it hit me that I hadn't even said my name yet. Oh, it's Melissa. Right. Pleased to meet you, Melissa. Likewise. See you later, Shoji. He gave me a grateful nod before disappearing into the cave. I might as well finish up too. Okay. Once I had finished preparing the plates and cutlery, I returned to the kitchen. DeAndre stewed soup in a giant pot resting over a single burner stove. It's Wednesday, by the way. I'd quickly learned that lunch always consisted of sandwich ingredients along with a serving of soup. Finished setting up the tables. Thanks, Mel. I'm still grateful that you volunteered and all. It's no problem. Glad to be of help. When does that happen? Maybe Honey Pop has ruined me for anything innocent in a game like this. He tapped the top of the pot with a stirring spoon to get the liquid off. Do you cook often? You seem rather skilled. I can tell that you're skilled because you knew how to wrap the spoon to get soup off the end of it. My God in heaven, you are Emerald Lagasse. Just look at you. Tapping that spoon. I'm also very skilled at the English language, as you can tell. I don't know if stirring soup is considered a skill. Boom! DeAndre, in my corner, with his lack of knowledge on cooking. High five. Awesome. At least you seem to know what you're doing. I've been cooking seriously since first year of university, perhaps? I mean, before, I could do the basic prep or throw frozen meals into a microwave. Once I moved to New Zealand, I sort of picked up cooking while living in the dorms. Eating out is pretty expensive, and I needed to keep a strict diet. Strict diet? I'm guessing you work out or participate in sports. Hello, young people. I was wondering if you were going to the latest sporting event. You ain't wrong. Training and weightlifting are part of my regimen. I'm a rugby player. Of course you are. Of course you are. Look at that guy. He's the spitting image of my brother. That's my brother. He's a rugby player. Hands behind the head all the time with my brother. He's always that way. It's just a rugby thing. I told him, dude, stop with the hands behind the head. He's like, you wouldn't understand. It's a rugby thing. He's got that on a bumper sticker as well. Oh, that's neat. What position do you usually play? I'm a lock. Okay. I'm guessing you don't know much about union rugby. No, really. Sorry, I know it's similar to football or American football, but without the padding. Basically, the locks provide the power and heights. Break through defense, jump high in lineouts, and it sounds like every position? Ellipses. I lost you again, didn't I? At lineout. What's a lineout? Oh god, we've already learned everything there is to know about fucking archaeology. They're gonna teach us everything to know about rugby too? Jesus. Alright, let's start with a lock. Anyway, locks have to get the ball at whatever cost. Balls are actually, it's a spheroid kind of thing. We make them out of leather and inflate them. You throw them. They bounce sometimes. Sometimes they're aerodynamic. Anyway, that's what a ball is. He extended his arms, pretending to reach for me, and made a primitive grunt. Rawr, aggressive must get possession of the ball. Oh, he wants to fuck. He wants to fuck, Melissa. Big time, big time. Well, not as aggressive as flankers. You never want to be tackled by those. I giggled, deciding not to ask what a flanker was either, and gently shifted the topic to my ass. Where did you learn how to play rugby? You didn't shift the topic at all. You kept it right on rugby. Well, I grew up playing it, even joined a local rugby club, but moved to New Zealand to hone my skills even further. Out of all the countries in the world, why New Zealand? If I recall, you went there to study, right? How is that related to rugby? I went there because of the universities in Wellington offered a program that combined its rugby culture with education. He grinned like a child, reminiscing about their Christmas presents. I got to enroll there for a few trimesters, along with free tickets to elite games and a gym membership to where the top-notch rugby players trained. Not only that, I got to participate in their practice sessions. I learned lots down there. It was pretty sweet as. Sweet as. Sweet as. There's that word again. It was expensive, though, and my visa expired. I guess it was inevitable, though. And now I'm finishing up my degree in Liège. What degree are you working on? English. Which, of course, is why I'm out here doing archaeological digs. It all sounds pretty heavy-duty. How do you balance both rugby and your English degree? You're not just focusing on your rugby career? As much as I love rugby, too much can happen on the field. One traumatic or hard-hitting injury, and your career's over. Even with the best physio, you may not play as well as you did before. Physio, okay. I figured if something were to happen, I could always teach English as a foreign language to the The pot bubbled and DeAndre softly cursed. He grabbed the spoon and stirred again to prevent the ingredients from settling to the bottom. An arm extended from the bowl, pulling DeAndre in. Tentacles! Horrible tentacles! Oh God! Why this? He screamed. Why? Why God? Oh God! God in heaven! Oh no! Oh! Blah, 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 blah. Whew, nearly forgot about this. Guess time does fly when you're having a conversation. What's the time? I checked my phone display. About time for the students to eat. Melissa, you kill me. I'll get the cold cuts and drinks out now. Thanks, this soup looks about ready. He turned off the burner and we focused on organizing lunch. I glanced at DeAndre as he happily hollered to the students coming down the stairs from the forest trail. Sounds like he figured things out. Now I gotta focus on what I'd like to do. To him. Okay. So this is Wednesday. I failed at studying, apparently. Didn't know that was... And I failed at socializing. Son of a bitch. Alright, now we're into Thursday. My name is Phil the Conquistadork. We're gonna keep playing this. This is C14 Dating. Please join me tomorrow. Like, comment, and subscribe. It means a hell of a lot to me. We're gonna keep this going. Let's find out what Melissa is up to on Thursday. In the meantime, in between time, I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.